higher labor cost. Of course, they may raise price to maintain profit margins, leading to wage price spiral, where higher wages fuel rising costs and vice versa. Now, this dynamic can erode purchasing power, especially for those whose wages don't keep pace with inflation, reducing overall economic stability. Now, to maintain a balance, central banks and government often seek moderate wage growth through tools like interest rate adjustment or fiscal policies that target specific sectors. Now, these measures aim to cool inflation without causing a sharp slowdown in employment or economic activity. Now, ensuring financial stability involves addressing structural factors such as the supply of labor, global trade dynamics, and productivity growth. Policymakers must also carefully navigate this trade-off, ensuring that the wages grow in line with economic fundamentals while preventing excessive inflation that could undermine both a living standard and financial stability. Now, in a moment, we will open the phone line 0700 1021 1021 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. 0907 224 5018. Of course, we are live on YouTube and, of course, on Facebook at High Impact 102.1 FM. So we'll take a breather now and return to begin the conversation. Stay tuned.
On record.
Every word matters.
I know. Enjoy.
Do you know bad production can kill a great content idea?
Do you want to have a photo shoot, audio production, or do you need a professional voiceover artist?
Do you simply want unmatched cinematography, video production, or just event coverage, such as weddings, birthdays, or burials?
Or do you need a space for meetings or conferences? All these are possible with High Impact Studios. Don't bring down your creativity, let's help you take it high.
And out of this world with our state-of-the-art equipment and first-class studio space.
We give you the quality you deserve at the best rate.
For more details, call 0706 393 5694 or 0915 958 1881. High Impact Studios, the future.
Mondays to Fridays.
On record, where every word matters.
Welcome back to On Record, where every word matters. I'm Olumide Shokoya on High Impact 102.1 FM. Don't forget, we are also live on YouTube and on Facebook at High Impact 102.1 FM. To join the conversation, you can call 0700 1021 1021, 0700 1021 1021, or you can send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018, 0907 224 5018. I earlier said the topic of the discussion is balancing wage growth with concerns about inflation and financial stability. And joining us via phone call is Folusho Olakbo. He is a public affairs analyst. So glad to have you, and once again, happy new month.
Yes, good morning this morning, Olumide. How are you today, and how is Lagos?
Lagos
good
is doing well.
Nigerians, and compliment of the season.
Thank you very much for that. Now, so we will be talking about wage growth and with concerns about inflation, particularly inflation and financial stability. Now, so my question is, how do changes in wage growth and inflation expectations, how does it influence consumer behavior, business investment, economic growth, and what are the implications for the policymakers themselves?
All right. First, let us understand what wage growth means. And probably inflation. Then I'll be able to understand whatever it is or we can even able to project the effects of such even on the economy. For instance, the Investopedia defined wage growth as the increase in wages after adjusting inflation. Increase in wages after adjusting inflation. And it says it is a key indicator of economic growth. So wage growth also, indicates economic growth over time, and as it reflects the purchasing power of consumers and standard of living. So wage growth do two things. It reflects the purchasing power of people and their standard of living. So if you put that definition into the Nigerian situation, yes, can we say there is actually a wage growth, irrespective of the fact that wages had increased? So to me, I think, in instance, wage growth might not equal wage increase, because if wage growth indicate the purchasing power of consumers and their standard of living, so there may not be a real growth even of wages in Nigeria. And to support that, Business Day, tried to adjust the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira to inflation, and it got the minimum wage to be the real minimum wage now to be 53,000 plus. So that is after adjusting it to inflation. And even going further, we can do that by ourselves. Let us even look at the dollar exchange rate. So today, 70,000 naira will seem to be like $46.6 a month. So a reduction of what the value of the 70,000 naira has reduced considerably. And if you like to look at it again, today it appears 100 naira we can now buy or has the value. So when we say value, we are talking about the purchasing power.
Yes.
So it appears the purchasing power of 100 naira is now what 10 naira can buy, even before this administration or before the APC government comes in power. That includes that General Buhari and the new administration. So meaning that.
Felicia Olakwa, are you there? All right, let's quickly go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the program.
On record.
Every word matters.
Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which station can I take as my everyday?
Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Wake up! Get ready to start your day off right with the most exciting breakfast show.
Join us every weekday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. for the best mix of news updates, weather forecasts, trending stories, and fun.
Oh, yeah.
Our dynamic hosts, Sarah Owusu Ansa, Olumide Shokoya, and Vivian Oguche will keep you entertained and informed with the latest updates, trending topics, and hilarious banter.
Play exciting games, win amazing prizes, and enjoy special guest interviews. So set your alarm clocks and tune into High Impact TV for the ultimate breakfast show experience.
Don't miss out on the fun. The Breakfast Cafe, starting your day off right.
Tease your taste buds from a world of delectable choices. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
Foment, foment, foment.
Something big is in town. Something powerful and majestic. A mammoth creation destined to become a legend by all who encounter it. High Impact Planet, Nigeria's biggest family theme park, with facilities designed for friends, families, or large groups under a relaxing atmosphere. Be welcomed by wowing displays of animatronics, thrill out with realistic arcade games, or enjoy a number of thrilling heart-racing park rides. Experience the 5D and 12D cinemas, and challenge your mates with bumper cars and go-kart races. Don't forget to slide into the ice rink, or simply take time out to enjoy a pizza at our delightful restaurant and dessert spot, or at the exquisite club lounge. High Impact Planet, 12 Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ibafo, opposite MFM Prayer City. Visit high-impactplanet.com for details and inquiries. Fun just got real.
Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now. High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Welcome back to On Record we're on High Impact 102.1 FM. We're still discussing wage growth with concerns about inflation and financial stability with Folusho Olakbo. He is a public affairs analyst. So glad to have you back, Folusho Olakbo. Folusho Olakbo, are you there? All right, we were talking about how changes in wage growth and inflation expectations influences consumer behavior. We'll try and see how we can get Folusho Olakbo back online. Of course, let's quickly go on a short break and we'll be right back.
On record.
Every word matters.
Venue on the Sea. A perfect and top-notch location for your special social and corporate occasions. Here at High Impact Cruise, we handle your events with elegance while providing you with outstanding service. An amazing experience you will never forget. For more inquiries, call 0815-181-9580, 0818-824-5734, or visit www.highimpactcruise.com. High Impact Cruise, dream, discover, explore.
You've got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. You've spent a lifetime stuck in silence, afraid you'll say something wrong. If no one ever hears it, how we gonna learn your song? So come on, come on, come on, come on. You've got a heart as loud as lion, so why let your voice be tamed? Maybe we're a little different, there's no need to be ashamed. You've got the light to fight the shadow, so stop hiding it away. Come on, come on. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. So put it in all of the pages, I'm not afraid, they can read all about.
High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now. High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Welcome back. I do apologize. This is still on record where every word matters on High Impact 102.1 FM. You can watch us live on YouTube and on Facebook at High Impact 102.1 FM. We're still on with Folusho Olakbo. So glad to have you back. I do apologize for the network issue there.
Yes, good morning once again. It's okay too. I think it's the network. We don't have power over that. We pray that things continues to be better in Nigeria.
Amen. Amen. So you were still going on with the first question. You were trying to explain wage growth and of course inflation, how it's been balanced, or how it's with the implications for policymakers.
Yes. Just briefly, We said wage growth is the increase in wages after adjusting to inflation. And we said inflation is the decrease in the purchasing power of people. So meaning that you are adjusting the wage, the increase in wage to inflation, and that if we have to do that, it brings out, or it indicates the purchasing power and the standard of living together. So it's an indicator. Wage growth is an indicator of purchasing power and consumer, power of consumer and standard of living. So you see, probably it may mean therefore that irrespective of the fact that an increase in wage happened, then it might not necessarily mean a wage growth or increase in the purchasing power of the people. And I try to give an example of the recently increased minimum wage of workers in Nigeria. So we said that irrespective of the fact that the national wage has been put at 70,000, that it doesn't necessarily translate to increase in the standard of living or the purchasing power of the people, meaning that inflation has eaten or eroded the value of that money even before it gets to the workers themselves. So this is trying to say that increase in wages does not necessarily mean increase in the standard of living of people. Before we were saying that 30,000 naira, well, that was the former minimum wage.
Yes.
Was not able to take a worker from the office to the bus stop. But now, irrespective of the fact that it has increased, the wages have increased, then we can now say that even the minimum wage cannot even take a worker outside its office. And that can be measured, especially when you look at the cost of foodstuffs. 70,000 naira, which is the minimum wage, is not even enough to buy a bag of rice. And from that 50,000 naira, you are going to pay school fees, you are going to pay house rent, you are going to check for medicals, you are going to a whole lot of things, clothing and all. And in Nigeria, and we are in Nigeria where government doesn't have any plan for the aged, meaning that if you are working, you still have your extended family to cater for. So in that respect, could we actually say, irrespective of the wage increase, that there has been a wage growth, or maybe we can say a wage growth, but that does not translate to the standard of living, to increase in standard of living of the people? So the effect of that is that there may be a whole lot of paper money in people's hand, but their paper money has no value. And when the money that you have does not have any value, then to that extent, you are not earning anything rather than a living wage that Mr. President promised. I think what we have to be is a slave wage across the nation, because it is just given so that maybe you just get one or two things so that you will not die. But to meet the standard of living conditions of the people, it cannot happen with the present situation that we have ourselves in Nigeria. And unfortunately, irrespective that it cannot, it does not increase standard of living. Unfortunately, the employers of labor too, it's having effect on them, because again, they may need to have now to increase or to adjust to inflation, and in doing that, meaning that some people may lose their job because they have to balance their own books too. And a worker cannot pay anybody except until it made a profit. So we all know that if you have a farm and you now experience increase in productivity, you will need more people to work for you, and in the process you are gaining more profit, you're expanding your farm. But it comes to a situation where the cost of production and the cost of your profit seems not to break even, then to that extent you have to lay off some people so that at least you will still be having something as an entrepreneur. So the first implication of this is that except the federal government or the state, or let's just say government, almost all private institutions in Nigeria will downsize. Because the more the rate as inflation is affecting the ordinary person in the street, it is also affecting the industries and companies. So the effect is bogus, and most of the time, and that is why most of the time I do not really plan or support wage or salary increase. No, rather what I usually emphasize is increase in the value of that money. Let's see how the 30,000 naira you have will have the value of buying more things or meeting more of your needs than having a 70,000 naira. You see, a 20 naira that has value is more to me. It's more important and it's more valuable than a 1,000 naira that cannot buy what the 20 naira can buy. So it's not just handling paper money or just saying that I have so and so in my bank account, and that amount cannot translate into increased living condition for you. Then to that extent, you are not having anything. So that is why most of the time, the government leaning towards IMF usually backfire, usually affects the ordinary people more than it's necessary, because the IMF are our creditors and they want us to pay our debt. So to that extent, they will introduce programs where we can get money to pay them, not money for us to have that will enhance our welfare or security of the nation. So, and that is why we have to come back even to ourselves and begin to look at our economic indices by ourselves and begin to translate it by ourselves. Government of Nigeria for Nigerians, for Nigeria and for Nigerians. That is actually what is needed even in this time. So if you are saying we have a whole lot of money, of course 70,000 naira is big money. But 70,000 naira cannot buy what 30,000 naira can buy before. At least before now, a bag of rice, let's say before 2015, cost less than 7,600.
Yes.
And we were earning about 30,000 naira then. So and today we have 70,000 naira and we cannot even buy a bag of rice with that 70,000 naira, because the bag of rice today is about 110 naira, 110,000 naira or thereabout.
So my question now, yes, I can hear you. I got that last part.
Okay.
So my question now is, I know, it's quite funny how Labour fought. Now Labour, they are on an indefinite strike in some states, and it's quite funny how they were at loggerheads with the federal government just to get the minimum wage at 70,000, starting from 500,000 all the way pegging it down to 70,000, and now they are still again at loggerheads with state government for the implementation. So my question is, what can Labour do at this point? How can they step in and as bargaining, as collective bargaining and minimum wage laws, and play a major part in wage growth and inflation? How can policy makers themselves, how can they leverage on these institutions to achieve their goals?
You see, our policy makers have to be truthful and be realistic with themselves, or truthful to themselves and be realistic regarding the economy. When we are liberalizing our economy, the first question is, what do we produce? If we are not producing anything and liberalizing the economy, opening every border and so that importation can be more, People can be importing everything they wanted, including toothpick and water, bottled water to the country. Then to that extent, we are not being realistic, and in that you are campaigning or you are seeking for higher wages. It won't work, and that is why even the federal government, I do not think they started even the payment since July or June. Yeah, since June, even since May. Yeah, because that promise was made on Workers' Day, May 1st. So since May, let's say even July, assuming let's give them some months, and nothing had happened. Even the federal government itself that promised that they can't even pay. So if federal government cannot pay, remember there was this report in the papers, I think a few weeks ago, that says about 32 states of Nigeria cannot stand on their own except they get allocation from the center. So meaning that most states of Nigerians are not viable. And yes, and if they are not viable, they have to pay salary. Where are they going to get the money from? And I hear some of them saying they are going to pay 80,000, 73,000. I just laughed. And at the end of the day, we begin to tell them that we need our roads done, we need medicals, we need the hospitals built, we need drugs. Where are they going to get the money? Because in this instance, like I said, the employers too, they have to adjust to inflation, because what is affecting A is affecting B, is affecting C. We are on the same market. So if labor is saying that we want, say, 70,000, and 70,000 was approved, so then the employers have to go back and adjust that to their own profit too, to look at the balance of what they are going to get at the end of the day. If whatever they are going to get is so minimal that they cannot even, break even, then to that extent they have to lay off some staff. So I think labor do not, give that into consideration before insisting on increment in wages. Like I said, what would have been the best is to force government to ensure that the 30,000 naira they were earning then is so valuable that at least they can buy things and save even at the end of the month. Today, we are not even talking, nobody is talking about saving. Everybody is talking about food. And that is the basic thing of life. Food, shelter, clothing, medicals. These four things. Those are the basic things. It's given. In some countries, it is given. Those things are subsidized to the teeth. They want each and everybody to be able to access and afford food stuff. They want them to access and afford health care. They want them to access and afford clothing and the rest and power. So if all the things are not accessible to Nigeria, and even if they are accessible, they are not affordable, then to what extent is the increase in wages? So I think, and until our policymakers begin to look at things realistically as it is, then I am sure that we will still continue to be in this same position in 3 years' time when they have to review the minimum wage, because the law says it should be reviewed every 3 years. So let's see what will happen the next 3 years.
All right, thank you very much for that. So now I would like to also ask, what are the potential consequences of prioritizing financial stability over wage growth, and how might this impact the economic growth and social welfare?
So you see, there cannot be financial stability except there is production, and we are not producing, and that is the problem here. We are not producing at all, so we cannot stabilize anything. Nothing. What do we produce? Name it. What do you see today that you can see made in Nigeria out there? Maybe
rice,
sachet water.
Producing rice, I guess.
Okay, where is the rice pyramid of Abuja today? Remember during Buhari regime?
Yes, the rice pyramid. Yes, that went viral.
Yes, and they launched it, and everybody was happy. We now have it in Nigeria. So where are they today? We just deceiving. It's like people deceiving people. We are just deceiving ourselves. So we do not produce anything. We cannot even produce toothpick. Not to talk of the rice agricultural products should have been the best. Because we have vast land, we have people, we have human resources even to do that. If government had put in place enabling environment for that to thrive, not only to plant, to harvest, and the network of people to buy, transporting those finished agricultural produce from the farm to the cities and probably for export. There was a time that they have to return our yams, even from, in fact, they did not even allow them to leave Nigeria. Why? Because it did not, the storage and everything did not meet international standards. Who does that? A whole country. So you see, we are not producing anything. And you want to stabilize the market. How do you do that? And that is why, unfortunately, the CBN and the Ministry of Finance are unable to do anything concerning the rapid and galloping inflation. So for us to be able to stabilize, we have to have something to rest on. The only thing we produce is crude oil, and the crude oil is being stolen to the teeth. So what is happening? So we are being told that we have the potential even to produce about 3 million barrels per day. And how much are we producing today? 1.8. And even from the 1.8, maybe millions of it or thousands of it has been stolen. So what are we talking about? So unless and until we are able to produce some things, then you'll be able to determine the price. And in the determination of the price, you can now be able to stabilize it. You are not determining price. You are not determining anything, and you say you want to stabilize it. It cannot be done. I'm not an expert in economics, but at least some things is just common sense. So if you do not have power over a thing, then how do you want to stabilize it? So you have to have power over it first before you can now decide on what to do over them. So for as we are today, I do not see a very bright future for this country, except there's a paradigm shift from what we are having now to the fact that government make concerted and deliberate effort to see that production increases and we export more than what we import, and that whether government or private individuals, it's made in Nigeria. We remember during the first coming of Obasanjo in 1976, 1976 to 1979, during the indigenization, Obasanjo have to be, Muritala, during the Muritala regime, Muritala have to decree that nobody should use also particular vehicles. If you are in government, you cannot afford it. Even I think himself was using a Mercedes-Benz something, and that every other person can now use 504. So that's what we have then. Yes. Today we have a president that is using Cadillac, and every other person is hungry. They cannot even afford a Tokumbo car anymore. For you to have a good Tokumbo car, you should be looking at about 5 million or thereabout. So we cannot stabilize anything, Lumidi, I'm sorry.
All right.
If government made a deliberate effort to see that we have power over what we have, then to that extent, probably there might be changes.
All right, this is a safe place to land. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. We really have to go right now. Well, thank you very much for the discussion. It's been brilliant.
Thank you very much. And it's okay. I wish you a very good and Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Enjoy yourself too. Thank you very much. Right, we have been discussing a whole lot. We've been talking about wage growth with concerns about inflation and financial stability with Folusho Olakbo, public affairs analyst. This is where we'll round off today's program on record, where every word matters. Let's do this again, same time, same station, High Impact 102.1 FM. I am Olumide Shokoya. Enjoy the rest of your day.
On record.
Every word matters.
Democracy has not given us peace, but we must tinker with our democracy.
I'm upset with my friend that came before me.
Oh.
Yes, I listened to him and he shocked me by turning things upside down.
Well, can I say something? Realize that we all have a right to our opinions. Yes. So that's his opinion.
This is On Record, where every word matters.
High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Wake up! Get ready to start your day off right with the most exciting breakfast show.
Join us every weekday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. for the best mix of news updates, weather forecast, trending stories, and fun.
Oh, yeah.
Our dynamic hosts, Sarah Owusu-Ansah, Olumide Shokoya, and Vivian Oguche will keep you entertained and informed with the latest updates, trending topics, and hilarious banter.
Play exciting games, win amazing prizes, and enjoy special guest interviews. So set your alarm clocks and tune into High Impact TV for the ultimate breakfast show experience.
Don't miss out on the fun. The Breakfast Cafe, starting